The Westboro Baptist Church has some defectors, some people who have left because they no longer believe in the message. So that's a little piece of good news, but it's even better when you find out who they are. It's Megan Phelps Roper and her younger sister Grace. Now they are the granddaughters of the founder of the group, and so they looked at what their family is doing and they're not in favor of it, so they decided to leave. And we have them speaking to the Today Show. In fact, this is Megan Phelps Roper. She explains why she left. Let's take a look.
There was a point when we started praying for people to die. And I didn't actually do that, but I was around when they did it.
4 years ago, she says she packed up her life and quickly left while her parents were at a protest.
I was terrified. I was never going to see my family again.
Man, that's such a difficult situation when it finally dawns on you that your parents and grandparents are mental.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to leave and never see them again, but staying is worse. God, can you imagine growing up in a situation like that and they brainwash you your whole life to believe these hateful, ridiculous things?
It's probably the most difficult thing that you'll ever have to go through, because even if your family is doing despicable things, it's what you know. I mean, they're the people that raised you, that loved you, that took care of you, and to realize that they're horrible people that do horrible things, and then you have to leave, and they like disown you as a result of that. I can't even imagine it.
Well, the disowning seems like the best part.
I know.
I'd want to be disowned by Fred Phelps.
I know you would want to, as a logical, rational human being who isn't emotionally involved in this. But if you're emotionally involved in it, it's extremely difficult. You know, like, what do you do if your parents are racist, for instance, and they don't want you to marry a black person and you fall in love with a black person, right? Like, how do you handle that situation? How do you look your parents in the eyes and you know, tell them they're wrong, and if they don't want to accept it, they disown you?
Well, look, people go through this all the time, you know, maybe not to the degree, obviously, of the Phelps family, because those guys are truly mental, but you know, you've got kids who are gay, and they don't know how to tell their parents because they're worried their parents are going to hate them and disown them, and oftentimes, you know, I'm not saying the majority of times, but oftentimes, you know, they never do see their parents again. So
here's what Megan Phelps and her younger sister Grace have to say about their family. They say, "We know that we dearly love our family. They now consider us betrayers and we are cut off from their lives, but we know that they are well-intentioned," which is wrong.
Again, Bob.
Right. "We will never not love them." Now, the church had a response to them, and here's what they said. "If they continue with the position that they have, those two girls, yeah, they're going to hell."
Okay, but look, I'm not surprised by that at all. They think everybody's going to hell. So you think that they're not going to think that just because they're their granddaughters, that they're not going to go to hell? Of course, they think they're going to go to hell. So, I mean, look, you got to remember, with people who really are fundamentalists, and obviously these guys are the fundamentalists of the fundamentalists. I mean, they're so far out there, you know, God hates fags is the sign that they all have, and they at all the funerals, etc., of the soldiers and everybody else. But even for fundamentalists, they think, yeah, if you don't follow what I'm doing, you're going to go to hell. Even if you're my kid, it doesn't matter. And in fact, that's why they go so stridently with their kids and say, don't be gay, you're going to go to hell, you're going to burn in eternity. Because in their crazy mythology that they've convinced themselves of, their child will be forever tortured for being gay or disrespecting God and whatever the 28 other kooky ways that they've conjured up in their heads.
I always wonder if they truly believe that, like if they actually believe religious doctrine, or if they're looking for a cop-out, like they're looking for something to point to just so they can be as hateful as they are. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't understand how anyone can read the Bible and interpret it as, all right, you need to go out there and make people miserable. You need to live your life full of as much hate as possible.
No, I can definitely see that. Now, look, the Bible's full of love, and it's, you know, the Sermon on the Mount is terrific, and Jesus had a lot of positive messages. But is there a lot of hateful stuff in the Bible? Definitely. If you wanted to interpret it as something that was murderous and hateful and discriminatory, you could do it like that. At least half the Bible is hideous. Hideous. Kill everyone who disagrees with you. If they're not Israelites, keep them as slaves, and then have sex with their this, and then burn those guys alive, and etc. I mean, so if you want to interpret it in a bad way, you easily can. I mean, your point's well taken that Apparently that's how they wanted to, in some way, interpret it.